All right, good morning, folks. Sorry for the schedule. It's been a hectic morning for me. I got to be on the DRIO call at 8:30, and also we have PPI at 8:30, which who knows could change things around. So anyway, today is Thursday, May 11th. Looking at the banking stocks, so we got a problem. PACW is down 21, 22, 27% there because they put a note out saying they had, I think, $15 billion of liquidity. Well, it's probably not enough. And through my experience, anytime I've seen a bank come out and make these statements about how much money they have, it's usually because they're under pressure. And it's usually, one of the catalysts that kind of lead to the next leg down. So I'm not surprised to see PACW down, and it's taking down the rest of the banking sector here this morning. Now, I've been holding gold and Bitcoin as a hedge against additional issues with regional banks or the currency or the debt, things like that, the national debt and the debt ceiling. But TLT also might be a good hedge. PSQ maybe a good hedge. So I think I'm of the mind that this is 2008, 2009. So I'm very bullish short term on the indices because I can't deny the technicals that we're seeing on QQQ SPY. I'm not going to fight that short term, and I'm going to be bullish and mostly long stocks as long as we're above this 20-day moving average. Okay, but as it goes up, maybe it's time to add more hedge as it goes up to protect your longs against some sort of 2009 black swan scenario, which I think is very possible. Okay, so let's go to the morning show now. Today's a little different because the timing's different. It's 8:12 a.m. and news releases continue to come out, and I can't be on top of all this, so I'm going to tell you what I have to date, and it's a lot, and there's good actionable ideas in here. I actually just had to add a DermTech because something just came out seconds ago on that. But all right, let's see what we got here. MSOS, we have a catalyst today. All right, MSOS, there's some legislative effort in Washington, D.C. today, some debate. So hoping to see some news releases out on that later today at some point with positive developments. Of course, it could be negative developments. You don't know, but I have a bias towards the upside, and I've never expressed the reason. I'll tell you now why my bias is to the upside. My bias is to the upside because I think legislation will pass eventually on this. Why? Because the government needs money. And legalizing cannabis is a way to collect tax revenue. So I think that's the dirty little secret that, you don't hear a lot about in the news, but that's why I think this will eventually get done. And I think the odds are better that it's going to be positive news on these legislative sessions than negative news. So it's holding the 50 DMA, trying to hold the 50 DMA right now. And we'll see if news comes out later today. Now, GEO, CXW, maybe a little riskier. The right time to get this was when I posted about this on Twitter. It was May 8th, Monday morning, I guess, around 10:30, when I posted about this, when there was news release saying that Texas is sending 10,000 troops from the National Guard or the Texas National Guard to the border. That was a time to jump on. I don't know why I tweeted about it, but I didn't do it. Duh. But anyway, so a little bit worried that we could see a sell the news today. I did give a target of $9 at the 200 DMA on GEO. So, does this try to challenge $9 again and maybe break above it based on all the graphic imagery we're going to be getting today and all the stories and the videos coming out at the border today and tomorrow? Or does it make a move back to the 50 DMA? I don't know. But if you look at where it is, the price, 50 to the 200, it looks like the risk reward is more to the downside if that's your range you're talking about. So be careful with GEO. CXW, though, the chart looks better because it bounced off or it hit the 50 DMA at the close. So maybe this one looks better for a possible move back up to 1020. Kind of conflicting to say that, right? Because if this moves to 1020, you got to imagine that GEO will actually break 9. So these charts are very different, which is very interesting, but they do move together. All right. DRIO had earnings today. I'm going to be on the call 8:30. To be honest with you, I didn't love the press release, but it's all about the future. I mean, they beat. Okay, they beat on revenue by 400,000. They beat on EPS by 5 cents. So I don't think the stock's going to crash or anything like that. But there are a couple things in here I'm a little not thrilled about in the press release, and we also know there's many news 2 days ago about Sanofi. We had the great news that they got the financing. So it's mixed results. Not everything is lined up perfectly, but let's listen to the conference call. Well, I'll listen to the conference call and I'll let you know what I learned. If you want to listen, that's great too. All right. So SMSI earnings after the close. We did meet with Brian Perlis yesterday to know what to look for on this conference call. And man, I feel like a pro just after 30 minutes with Brian. I know exactly what to look for. This is going to be very interesting. I don't think, just to sum it up for you, this quarter that is about to report is not the inflection quarter. All right. That inflection quarter is probably going to be either Q2 or Q3. So it's all about future looking guidance. And we'll see what happens with that. But that's going to be after the close today is the earnings on SMSI. And by the way, we did decide to record it, but it's only available for VIPs. So if you're looking at the replay here, let's get that note up on our VIP program. You can go to storytrading.com/app and become a VIP. There's a free trial available, and then you can check out that recording. All right, what else we got? PERI looking great. They're at an Oppenheimer conference today. 34 was a resistance level. If it breaks that, we can maybe make a move towards 36. And we got the Microsoft Bing tailwind. We have the great earnings and guide beat, tailwind for the year. Everything's great here, except the technicals don't look great. So that's why my target is just 36 at these moving average resistance levels. But we do have that catalyst of Oppenheimer conference today. Palantir, $10, a key level. And it's breaking up over the $10 after it had great earnings and great commentary on continued profitability for the rest of the year. Great sentiment on their AI product, which has unprecedented demand. So Palantir looks good for continuation at this point above $10. I had resistance up here in February at, 1023 and 1031. Let's see. Ooh, this could go, huh? After 1023, 1031, you're talking about maybe like 1150. So possibly that's where Palantir goes next. All right, I'm going to go a couple big caps more in a second. Actually, let me go to that next, and I'll come back to AMLI. So BABA, China CPI came in light by a good margin. And so China stocks are up this morning, and BABA's been beaten to a pulp. So with this, look, you had strong resistance at 85. It's above 85 now. I think this is easy. I don't know. I could be wrong. You know what? That's why you never go all in on a trade, because you could be wrong. But man, this looks easy. This looks like a shoe-in for a move to the 20 DMA, and I wouldn't be surprised if it happens today. The stock's at 85. I really wouldn't be surprised to see the stock at 86.70 later today. Could easily be wrong, but that's what I see. And if I'm playing the odds, I'm playing BABA from 85 to 86.70. Of course, it could be prudent to see how BABA opens. But I've noticed that's more of an issue with the smaller stocks. The mega caps, usually the pre-market action is a good tell, and you don't see like a sudden crash right at the open. Usually you don't, in my experience. Okay, Google, the chart, I was on with Vegas earlier this week, and I noted this chart looks fantastic, incredible. It was looking for a breakout, and what do you know? Yesterday we got a catalyst to cause that breakout, and that catalyst, good for sentiment, because Google has been knocked down because Microsoft was flying because they're taking market share with Bing because ChatGPT. Well, Google released their Bard AI product. It's out of invite mode or beta mode, and now it's available for everybody, and or it will be available for everybody. I don't know the details of that, but that's what's caused this breakout above this 109 breakout level, and now you're going boom. So Google looks really, really good. My Lord. So where's the target on this, though? Ooh, that's a little tricky. You're in a big congestion zone here. Vegas isn't with us today. Rex isn't with us today. So they're more of the experts maybe on the chart. But that 109 is support now. This is a nice, clean breakout. Where it's going, I don't know for sure. But we called this earlier this week when he said that chart looks really good. And boom, so really good for Google. Microsoft, I just want to note, hit a new 52-week high. I'm not necessarily bullish on this today. I don't really have a catalyst for you today. It's a new 52-week high, which is great. And I'm wondering if now Google's going up, that takes some money out of Microsoft, so something to possibly be aware of there. And Celsius was huge. It was huge for us yesterday. Man, fundamentally, I don't think this is too expensive anymore after that big beat and the growth they have. The short position is just insane. I don't know how these shorts are going to cover 10 million shares when the daily volume is, what was it yesterday? It was 7 million shares, but that's a lot of longs. Usually it's 1 million, so it's 10 days to cover. These guys have not covered yet. They couldn't yesterday, not enough volume. Rex, we did a session with Rex, and Rex is thinking this can go to $150. There's strong support at 126 and 120. Very strong support levels, 126 and 120 on Celsius. And I think I'll go with Rex, 150 on the upside, but could take weeks or months to get there. Okay, those are the big caps. Let me just go back to AMLI. AMLI, we got this yesterday, LTHM Aqua merger. And I noted in the morning that that's going to be good for the lithium sector. And then other acquisitions or speculation of other mergers and acquisitions. So a note came out. We shared it in my inner circle community last night from an analyst saying that, yeah, expect more M&A. So I think this kind of speculation can drive AMLI. AMLI had a 217. I can't show you the chart because TD doesn't have it. I remember yesterday I read it off to you from E-Trade, my desktop on E-Trade. Maybe one day I'll share my desktop with you. I just like the phone so much better. But in any case, it was 217 was a breakout level and 230 was resistance. And it got there. It broke 217. It went to 230. This might go again. All right. Now 217 support. And again, 217 support. It was resistance before. Now 217 support and 230 is a breakout level. Okay. And if it breaks 230, I mean, this thing can be off to the races. Let me just refer to my E-Trade chart for a second here. If it breaks 230, let me go to my daily. I was looking at the weekly. Oh, wow. If it goes, then like 250 is your next level, okay? After 230, a clear shot to 250. That could happen fast if it breaks 230. And then we'll take it from there. That's all I'm going to tell you right now, okay? 217, 230, 250 on that. Okay, we talked about Celsius. Sting, I got a trade idea here. Sting, this has been beaten to a pulp after earnings, which was good earnings. This is just because of cyclicality. People worried about recession. They're taking down the oil stocks. That's why this went down. But in any case, this is a oil like a tanker stock. But look at this. It's moving back up. You got the 200 DMA above, and he had a catalyst this morning. They said they bought back 2 million shares at $47. I mean, that's a lot. 2 million shares. There's 60 million shares outstanding. What is that? Like, how many shares do they take out of the float? 2 divided by 59, like 3.3%. I don't know. Should it move 3.3% just on that? Maybe. But in any case, it's a positive catalyst, and the next technical level above is $50. I think this is an easy call. I think this is probably going to challenge $50 pretty soon. That's STNG. DermTech had a little bit of news this morning, and maybe it can make it to the gap fill. What's the top of this gap? 287. 287 to 3, maybe 340, because they had another insurance company here cover them, and it's for 1.7 million lives and members of the Blue Sea and South Carolina, the 90,000, 1.7 million lives. So that's a good little catalyst. Like, this is not turning into revenue yet. They keep signing these things, so I'm still like, this hasn't inflected. I actually got out of it in my long-term account. I'm waiting for revenue inflection, but in the meantime, they got that this is a catalyst, and it makes sense that you can challenge this gap fill here about 10 cents higher. So low here again. 287 is 270 by 2. 287 is the first target. Maybe the top of this candle at 315 would be the next target. And who knows? Maybe it can even make a run to the 20 DMA at 339. So that's a possibility. I usually don't have as much confidence in these stocks if they're not profitable yet. And sometimes you miss out on bigger moves because it's these little stocks that aren't profitable with huge short positions that actually have the big moves. This one's 10% short, right? Sting also has a large, it's 6% short Sting, not as much. But, I tend to favor the companies with good fundamentals and then tend not to run as much. So, but in any case, all right, yesterday we killed it on Tableau. Not really looking for follow through today. After that great earnings report, maybe you have support here at 260, 265 level, but not at the top of our list today. Kodak, I'm going to give it one more day. We'll see. Wow, had a nice end of day yesterday, curling up a little bit this morning. But Kodak, I think, had a good report. It was a mixed report, but net, I think, was good enough that we should have seen upside, and we didn't. So far, I was wrong on day one. Well, it did touch 363, but I was hoping for a break, so I didn't sell it. But in any case, let's see. We'll give it another chance today and see if we can, again, reach 360, 361, and we'll take it from there on Kodak. PET, I thought it was a really good report. And this one acted really wildly yesterday. So I'm going to give this one more day. I don't know that I want to hold this beyond that, but we'll give this one more day to break out. I don't have levels on this. For some reason, this doesn't show me moving averages. I got to get to my E-Trade chart to see what's going on there. And GRIL had listen, I'm calling GRIL again. I've been talking about GRIL for like since this thing was 90 cents. I don't own it, but I've been telling people the reason I don't is because it looked too good to be true. If you look at the market cap and you look at their revenue and their path to profitability, like this thing looked like when it was at 90 cents, I'm like, this thing should be like $5. I didn't get it. It looked too cheap. So I didn't put the time into it. I just put it out there, and I've said it like 3, 4, 5 times. I'm like, there could be something here. I'm begging someone from the community, because I got my hands full. Take a look at this. Do your research. Look at the fundamentals. Actually, one person looked at it briefly and said, I don't know, it looks scammy. Like everyone looks at it and like they don't even look at it because they're like, it looks too good to be true. But every report keeps validating stuff and it keeps going up. Maybe this is a $5 stock. I don't know why it was 90 cents, but this is worth researching. Hopefully someone will take that from me, research it, and let us know what's going on. All right, so we got to cut it because I got to go to the DRIO conference call. Let me just see if there's anything that came out since we started the show here. No, not really. I mean, there was earnings on CNW, Rewalk, but I don't have time to look at those this morning. But in any case, we got some good stuff today. Really, I think we have some good stuff with PERI and Palantir and Alibaba and Google. Like, oh my gosh, wow. Those look great. With Sting looks great. DermTech a little lower conviction on that, but I bet you that ends up running the most because it got the lowest conviction and I don't love the fundamentals. So in any case, guys, have a great day. I got to run to the DRIO conference call, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.